Hi there, this is Jen Ponto, your Norwex independent consultant, and I am coming to you to show you all about one of Norwex's most popular item, and it is the mop system. I'm super excited to show this to you and show you all the great things that you can use the mop for, because this mop is not only for mopping. You can use it to reach high places to dust. You can use it to wash your shower. And so I'm very excited to show it to you. So this is the mop base. Whoop. This is the mop base. It is a telescopic base that can go as high as you want. It's about 20 feet up. You can reach 20 feet up walls if you want to clean your walls. Basically what you would do is you would take it and adjust it so that it is eye height, because the important thing with our mop system is that you are not bending over to do your mopping. So you're standing up and it doesn't cause any issues with your back. The bottom of the mop has it so that you can attach the different pads to it. There is a locking system here, and what this does is it causes you to only be able to either move your base up and down. If you unlock it, then you can move it all around. So really, when I lock it, it's because I am going to be doing on a wall, or I'm doing my shower or something like that. Now there are two different sizes. We have our superior size, which is this one, and I'm just going to lock this so you can see the difference. So that's the superior size. And then we have our mini mop. So the mini mop is one that I use in my bathrooms. I keep it in the upstairs of my house so that I can just leave all of my superior mop stuff on the first floor, where I have hardwood floors and like a linoleum tile floor in my kitchen. And then the mini mop I use in our bathrooms upstairs that are smaller space, so this makes for an easier use. Much easier to get around like the toilet and sinks and cabinets and that type of thing. So that's what I use my mini mop for. But they do use the same telescopic base. So you could have just one of the telescopic base, but have the superior and the mini mop. So to start off with, I am going to show you how the Enviro wand can be used on your mop. So the Enviro wand is one that I introduced to you to explain that we use it, like in our house, we use it on our ceiling fans. We use it for any like hard to reach areas. So like I have a hard time reaching like my cabinets. And so what I will do is there are these buttons on it. So you can remove the Enviro wand base, and then you can let me set that down. You can take off the mop base like that and pop in the Enviro wand to the mop telescopic base. And there you have it. So now it is all set. Let me lock it in. There we go. Then what I can do is I can use this to clean ceilings that are 20 feet high. I can get cobwebs, spider webs, anything like that. And then what I usually do is I take it through in my kitchen on top of my cabinets. The nice thing with the Enviro wand is that you can bend it to whatever shape you need. So that's really nice for when you are dealing with like your ceiling fans, being able to make sure that you get them all. One thing that I have found that is great with the Enviro wand, in order to get that static charge going, I will take my rubber brush, which is a static rubber brush, and I will just rub this to get the static electricity going in it. And what I have found is that this, the chenille cloth will then pick up even more dust. You can also use this Enviro wand to clean under your appliances. So I can take it under my stove and it will pull out all kinds of stuff and things you don't realize are under there. So the one side of it is the chenille. The other side is the microfiber, which has the backlock technology in it, which means it contains that microsilver agent, and so it repurifies itself and it collects 99% of the bacteria that's on your surfaces. So I'm gonna switch back to our mop so we can continue with the mop demo. So there are a few different mop pads that you can use with the Norwex mop systems for both the mini and the superior. So the first one that we usually use is the yellow one, and I always think of yellow as sun, and so it's dry. So this is the one that you use as your dry mop pad. This is the one that comes with the mop system if you purchase the mop system, along with the blue wet pad. So when you think of blue, you think of water. So that's how you know that this is your wet one. So these are the two that come with your superior system, if you're interested in that. All of these contain the backlock technology. So they will be, you hang them to dry, they repurify themselves. They really do a great job. But on top of these two, there are a couple others if you're interested. So there is also the chenille one, which I tend to use if, like, my kids have come in from whether it be soccer and they have a bunch of turf, these little turf balls that come off of their cleats. If there's a bunch of dirt that has come into the house somehow, I will go through with my chenille mop pad, which would be a dry one. And as I explained with the Enviro wand, I would do the same thing with this one as well as the yellow one, where I would rub it with the rubber brush before starting in order to get that static electricity going in the pad. Another one that we have is another wet pad that's blue. This one is made of 70% recycled material, so it's made out of water bottles. 70% of it. So this is a wonderful one to have as well. Knowing that we're taking the recycled materials and using it to make the mop pads is something that makes me really happy. And I hope it would make you happy too, knowing that it's made from the recycled materials. So then the last one we have is called the tile pad. So the little blue squiggly lines that are in there kind of have a rough edge to them. So they're better for when you're cleaning a tile. I use this to clean like my shower surround systems or shower tiles, that type of thing, and these work wonderful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo for you what exactly I would do to clean my floors. So I'm going to start off with my yellow dry mop pad. I am going to first get the static electricity going in it by rubbing the rubber brush on it. And then I put it down on the ground, like so, and I place my my base on there. Whoop. And see, there's always something, I hadn't hooked it in. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise up the handle so that it goes to my eye height. And then all I do is I go in a figure 8 motion to collect anything that is on, let me undo my lock, to collect anything that is on the ground. So this is what I come through and do before I would wash my floors. And I always go in the figure 8 motion because it will pick up the particles much easier. The nice thing with the Norwex mop pads is that instead of using a broom and sweeping, which will cause the particles to go back up in the air, and then it just brings them right back down, and so your floor doesn't actually get clean from all of that, is because of the static electricity in the mop pad, it will collect and it will not send anything back up into the air, which makes it very handy for really making sure that you're getting everything off of your floor. So once I'm done with my sweeping, so to speak, with my mop pad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I take my rubber brush, and we'll show you. I take my rubber brush and I will sit there and I literally scrape it with the rubber brush, and that takes everything that I've just collected that was on my floor and it cleans it off. So this rubber brush is like a lifesaver for me. So funny story about the rubber brush. I never had a rubber brush until probably a year ago, honestly. I had been using my mop pads, and basically what I would do with my dry one is I would just try to shake it out, and that's how I would clean it up. And then my friend Emma, who is a consultant, said, do you have the rubber brush? And I'm like, well, what does the rubber brush do? And then she told me all the things that it does. So I can create the static electricity with my mop pads. I can use it on the EnviroRun to clean that up. Another thing that you can do is if you're trying with the dust mitt to create that electricity, you can take and rub the rubber brush on it. You can also, after your dust mitt is dirty and is full of dust, you can do the same thing I just did with the dry mop pad and take this and rub it out, and then your dust mitt is ready for the next time you want to use it. You just have to hang it up by the little tab that's on it, and you're all set to go. So this rubber brush, like now that I have one and realize what it's for, I don't know how I lived without it, to be honest with you. It is so convenient. So then the next thing that I would do is I would take off my dry mop, and then I take my wet mop pad. So what I did is I already got this wet, and then you take it, whoop, and you roll it like this in order to squeeze out all the excess water, because you want to squeeze out that excess water. So then I would squeeze out the excess water, which I had done, and then I plop it on the ground and I attach the mop base to it, and then I'm going to go back through in that same figure 8 kind of motion and go through and clean my floor. And you'll notice I am not bending over to do this. I am standing straight up, and because it works in such a big space, it really is so easy to use. And let me tell you, this is something that my kids use. I get everybody in my family involved with using, the mop. So then once you're done, once you finish going through, what you would do, let me just shorten this. And because it has this adjusting handle, anybody of all ages can use it. So there's no excuses on why you can't mop. So then what I would do when I'm done, I would take this off. I would then put this in the sink and rinse it thoroughly. And then from there, I would hang it to dry. So I have a hook in my back closet that I hang my mop pads from. And that's what I would do with it. Let's see, what else did I miss? So again, it has the backlock technology. Now something that I am offering with any parties that I am hosting is that if you purchase the mop system, I will throw in a rubber brush to your order so that you have that rubber brush, because now that I know how critical that is to the process, I want to make sure that all my customers have it as well. If you're interested in the mop system, there's a few different ways that you can earn it or buy it. One, you can buy it and I will throw in the rubber brush. A second way is that for the month of January, we are in Mop Month. So that means as a hostess, if you wanted to host a party before the end of the month, you would have the chance of earning a free mop, which is incredible because this mop, it is our most expensive item, but it is so worth it. And when you look at the cost savings of using other products and the things you have to buy for those products throughout the year, the $113 that you spend on the mop system up front, there's nothing else that you have to buy for it. It's literally just water and the mop pads that come with it. Another way that you could potentially earn the mop system would be by becoming a consultant. That's something that's included in your package with the products that you get for free. So if that's something that interests you, let me know and I would be happy to tell you more about that. So this is all it is for the mop system. If you have any questions, please let me know and let's get you guys a mop.